Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from anywhere that you are joining us today. Welcome to Analytics Masterclass, where we'll be talking about why cybersecurity analysts earn more than other tech career paths and how to get started in 2025. Please, Sophia, please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. Hi, Sophia, are you there? If you can hear me, please feel free to comment or put anything in the comment section so that I'll be sure that people can hear me clearly and I'm not speaking to myself. Okay, thank you so much, John. Thank you, Uru Ejoma. All right, thank you, Mirabel. Thank you, fantastic. It's good to have that confirmation. So, like I said, we're going to be having a very fantastic discussion tonight, and it's buoyed on something that is very, very similar to what we've always been hearing. Why do cybersecurity analysts earn more than other tech roles, and how can you get started in this career path in 2025? Okay, but before we jump into this discussion for tonight, I want to know you and also get to know where you are joining us from. All right, so feel free to put in your name. My name is Chukwemeka, I'm joining from UK. Or my name is Chukwemeka, I'm joining from Canada. My name is Chukwemeka, I'm joining from Nigeria. Please, let's get to know each other before we jump into this discussion for today. Okay, I can see close to 40 people on the call at the moment. We still expect other people that will join us. But in the meantime, let's get to know one another before we start the discussion fully. Okay, I can see, okay, you have John from South Africa. I can see Janet from Nigeria. I can see Nanya from Nigeria. I can see Good Luck joining from Oman. Fantastic. I can see, please, can you turn up your volume? That's from Vela. Okay, I think my voice is as loud as it can be. Personally, you might have to check from your end to be sure that you do not lower your own volume. Okay, I can see Shina from Nigeria. I can see Accees from Nigeria, Tony from Nigeria, Susan from Benin Republic. I can see Chinedu from Nigeria, Ernest from Nigeria, Yannick from Belgium, Victor from Toronto. I can see Prevailer from Canada. I can see Bolutife UK, Chinedu Nigeria, Joseph from Nigeria, and also Ovi from Canada. So it's good to have you all on this call. So Stephen from Kuwait, can see Nyamatis from Ghana, and also Cab from Canada. So it's good to have we all on this call tonight. And before we jump into the discussion, if today is the first time that you are joining any of our sessions, please feel free to also put in a 1 so that I'll know how to construct my discussion with everyone, depending on how I get the responses. Okay, but if you've been in any of our sessions, feel free to put in any number as you deem fit. Okay, so this will help me to know people that I would give the first time package. Okay, I can see a lot of ones in the comment section. So this means that almost everyone on this call today, that they are all first timers. Fantastic, amazing. Okay, so my colleagues will drop an attendance link in the comment section. All right, so make sure that you fill that form because that's what we are going to be using to send the slide that we're using for this discussion to you and also the recorded version of this session. Okay, once you fill that attendance form, after the session is over, we'll send across the slides to you for you to have a better understanding of everything that we discussed and also send the recorded version of the conversation to you so that I can be able to go through it and also assimilate a couple of places that you missed out. Okay, so while we wait for others to also join in, if you have a specific thing that you would love to take out from this discussion, right, please feel free to also type it in the comment section. Okay, if you have something important that you want to take out from this session, something that is specific to you, that you want by the end of this conversation, you want to have an idea about this, you want to be able to know how to go about that, please feel free to type it in the comment section and I'll be sure to look at it and make sure that we handle that aspect before we finish today. Okay, and before we also jump into the discussion, if you know anyone that this conversation, this session today is going to be very, very beneficial to, please feel free to send the link to them your friends, your colleagues, your enemies, and your family members, feel free to share the link to this conversation with them so that they can also be able to join us and benefit from all the remnant that we're going to be sharing tonight. Okay, so make sure that you tell someone that you know that is going to benefit from this discussion. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the what we have while I also wait to see the specific thing that you want to take out from this conversation. Remember, I said if you have something in particular that you want by the end of this session, you want to have an idea about that, feel free to also type it in the comment section, and I will look towards it and make sure that we handle it before the session is over. So who are we that is organizing this event? All right, so we are Analysts, and we're the leading educational technology company that help people of the Black community to break into the tech industry. And how we do this is by lowering the entry barrier, bringing it down for you to learn using project-based approach, so that you are not just a skilled person on a tool, but you have project-based experience on how to use a tool. And this is what we've been doing for close to 5 years, where we've helped close to 3,000 people move from our classroom into landing their first roles in UK, US, Canada, Europe, and also Africa and Asia. We have specific career paths that we help to do this. And these career paths are the ones that we've identified through the World Economic Forum report, that they are the career paths that will offer you the future that you are looking for. And they include data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, that's Scrum Master, and what we are having tonight, cybersecurity, and soon to come AI engineering. Like I said, we use project-based approach to teach people how to break into the industry, to give them the skills that they need to land those jobs. And these amazing facilitators come from amazing companies like Microsoft, PwC, Deloitte, Sahara Group, to teach people, okay? And that's how we've been able to help over 2,500 people move from our classroom into their next jobs. Okay, and who am I that is speaking to you tonight? My name is Chukwuemeka Ikpa, and I am the CEO of Analytics. Over the last close to 10 years, I've served as a technology business consultant, both in governance, risk and compliance, and also strategic consulting, helping people to break into the career paths that they desire. As the CEO here, I've helped close to 2,000 people with no technical career paths, no technical background rather, move from our classroom into landing a successful career after their own training. Okay, my experience spans across GRC, like I've already mentioned, that's governance, risk and compliance in the banking sector, head of control in a fintech industry, a data analyst also in a fintech company, and as well as a business consultant in the hospitality sector. I've worked in the financial service sector, I've worked in the capital markets industry, I've worked in hospitality business, and presently I am in the educational technology sector. Feel free to follow me across the social platforms on LinkedIn at Chukwuemeka Ikpa, on Twitter at Emeka_Heist, and also Instagram at Ikpa_Chuks. If you want us to have a more personalized conversation, please feel free to shoot me a DM in any of these social platforms for me to also get to know you more. Okay, I think it's only Yemi that typed something. Please, when is your next class on how to set up an eye-catching LinkedIn profile, Yemi? So just be on the lookout on all the platforms that we have for you to see when we'll have these sessions. Constantly, week by week, day by day, we have more sessions that we use to impact individual. All right, so make sure that you have your eye on what's going on in all those WhatsApp groups, because that is where you're going to see some of the sessions that will be coming up. Okay, I can see another comment. Do we have the age limit to switch in tech? Amazing. So there is no age limit to switch into tech. There are people that switch into tech at the age of 16, 17, 18. There are people that switch in at the age of 50, 60, and also, I think the oldest person we've had in our classroom should be around 68 years, okay? Which means there is no barrier when it comes to the age, okay? And also, Joseph is asking, I want to know how to learn cybersecurity. Fantastic. I'll make sure that before we finish our discussion for tonight, that we are going to definitely scratch how you can learn cybersecurity easily, okay? Nanya mentioned, I want to learn cybersecurity as a beginner. I'm new in tech. Fantastic. I'm also going to walk you through how you can be able to learn cybersecurity. Okay, all right. So for others that just joined, so I'm asking everyone to drop what they want to take out from this session specifically, so that I'll be sure that by the time we're done with this discussion, if it's not part of what I've prepared in my slide, I'll make sure that I speak about it for you to have a better understanding. So what exactly are we doing here today? First, we're going to understand cybersecurity as big and as wide as it is. We're going to understand everything that aligns to cybersecurity, the skills, the salary expectation, and also the domains that exist in cybersecurity. And also walk you through the growth internship program and also some of the success stories of our past students for you to see how you can be able to be part of the people that move from the classroom into landing their next role. And of course, we're going to walk you through how to get started immediately in cybersecurity and the career pathway for you to be able to start up. All right, we'll talk to you about our upcoming cohorts in February and as well as the one coming up by March. Okay, and lastly, we'll have an amazing special discount to you by virtue of joining this session tonight. Okay, so let's get started. I think a couple of people are saying dropping comments. Let me go through. I want to learn cybersecurity. Definitely, we are going to talk about that. I have a cybersecurity diploma since 2023, never applied for jobs, and I need practice. Fantastic for MTP. We're also going to walk you through how our project-based approach can help you to landing all these career paths that you want. Remember, my colleagues are dropping the attendance form. So the attendance form is what we are going to be using to share the slide for this discussion with you and also the recorded version of this conversation tonight. So can we all see my screen? All right, can we see this amazing young man that is doing his hands like this? Who is he? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Jane. I'm sure that we know who this guy is. So last week, he made a very interesting post. Okay, he made a very, very interesting post. And what he said is something that tilted and also reshaped the future of jobs. The way recruiters are looking for roles now, it has entirely changed. And what he posted was simple, and this is it. If you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. Okay? We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. All right, so I'll repeat the last paragraph. He said, we don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. So when we see a tweet like this from the richest man in the world, what comes to our mind? Okay, so this is going to be a very conversational class. What comes to our mind? Feel free to put it in the comment section, and I'll also be able to pick it up from there. And this is for everyone. I have over 50 people on the call today. So please interact with me so that this session is going to be very, very, very lively. Okay, Kunle said, what comes to his own mind is skills. Skills comes to his mind. He's seen what the richest man said. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. Okay, Ilaya said also, okay, your skills above degree. Fantastic comment there. Okay, know-how, that's from Lawrence. I'm sure you're talking about technical know-how. Fantastic also. Wenga mentioned skill. Jane also said that the world is going more into tech. See, Job also mentioned skills. Fantastic. Now, it is simple, all right? When a tweet like this comes up, the only thing that is communicating to all of us is certification no longer hold the same weight. Okay, maybe before now, last year, a couple of years back, if you have certifications, if you have degree, you are sure they are going to get into any of those industries, any of those companies that you're looking forward to. But today, it is not the same, right? Certifications no longer hold the same weight as it used to hold back in the day. Okay, so what counts now is your skills and the experience that you can bring into the company. All right, so here comes my question. So why are we constantly pursuing the certificates? Right? If I ask everyone here, if you still on this call, people are still going to come up and ask me, okay, Chukwemeka, when I'm done with this, I want to pursue this certificate, or will your training help me get this certificate, and so on and so forth. The future of jobs have changed already. Nobody cares the school you went to. Nobody cares certificates that you have. Nobody cares the big name company that you've worked at. Just show us your code. In fact, one of the fintech industry that I consulted for a couple of years back, the CTO of that company, that's the chief technology officer, this guy didn't have any university degree, but he can code from Nigeria to South Africa to Algeria, back to UK and then US. But a university degree, he doesn't have any. I think it was maybe 2 years ago that he now went back to school to try and get a degree. But degree was not what got him into the position that he is in today. So for anyone on this session today, I want to have one conviction in your mind. Certification no longer hold the same weight that it used to have before now. What matters now is your skills and your hands-on experience. What can you do to make our company to improve from point 1 to point 2? So right now, let's get into cybersecurity fully, okay? And I'm going to start up with this encoding game that we used to play when we were kids. I don't know whether we played this game. I don't know the people that would have on the call our own backgrounds, but myself, when I was growing up, we used to play this game. Okay, and let's listen attentively. We have all these vowels, A, E, I, O, U. Okay, all the vowels of the English alphabet, A, E, I, O, U. Now, let's replace each of them, A with 1, E with 2, I with 3, O with 4, and U with 5. So anyway they appear in a sentence, we are going to, replace all those vowels with these letters rather. And then we're going to pronounce all consonants with an R sound after them. And then let me now give you an example so that we can understand what I'm saying. If game equals Gawon Matsu, right? Game equals Gawon Matsu. Remember, we've replaced all vowels with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Game equals Gawon Matsu. What is Fawon Matsu? All right, so this is encoding, and it's going to lead us into our discussion that we are going to be having inside cybersecurity today. If game equals Gawon Matsu, what is Fawon Matsu? Remember, we've replaced all the vowels A, E, I, O, U with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can see a comment from Shane. With Shane, she mentioned fame. Okay, Uru Ejoma also mentioned fame. Kunle mentioned fame. Fantastic. I think I have 3 responses, and we are all correct. All right, so the answer is fame. And for you to be able to do this, it means that you understood the assignment. You know the primary keys. All the English vowels, we'll replace them with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let me now test this next one. Remember those days in school where you go to your math class and they'll teach you 1 plus 1. And then in exam, you are going to find the square root of 34 divided by the square of 7. So that's what's going to happen now. The answer is fame. But let's decrypt this now. What is 3 la 4 vatu tatu kaha? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 responses that got the fame correctly. Now let's try to decrypt 3 la 4 vatu tatu kaha. What does it mean? 3 space la 4 vatu space tatu kaha. Let me know people that has that encoding mindset. Let me see people that can think like cybersecurity experts while preparing for cybersecurity. Because what we didn't know growing up is that this game that we're playing relates to cybersecurity a lot. Okay, it relates to cybersecurity a lot, but we didn't know. Okay, but after we've gone through cybersecurity, we can now easily look back and say, okay, so this is what we're actually practicing. We're encoding some words, and only the people that have the primary key to those words that can be able to understand what we are communicating. Okay, I can see a couple of comments dropping. Abisoye, first person to type in, I love tech. Jane said, I love tech. Uru John Miles is mentioned, I love tech. Vela, Joseph, Witty, and of course, good luck. And fantastic. We all got the answer. Okay, we all got the answer. The answer is, I love tech. Now, there is one more there or two more. I want you to also go through it on your own, okay, and try to also decrypt it. But for people that got the I love tech, before now, have you played this game before now? Do you have any understanding of how this game works before now? Or this is the first time that you are coming across it? Okay, I want to know whether we had the experience before. Okay, Jane said that this is her first time. Fantastic. Okay, while you're trying to type in that, remember we have another one on my screen, and that is, what is Gatuta space 3 na ta 4 space tatu kaha space ta 4 da 1 ya. Okay, so if you can also decrypt that, that's amazing. This means that you understand encoding. And the way encoding works is simple. A certain letters of the alphabet or the message that you're trying to communicate, you are going to, encode it with some things that only you have the primary key to, all right? And the only people that can decrypt it is only the same set of people that have that primary key that you have. Okay, so for instance, we assigned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to A, E, I, O, U. All right, if tomorrow I'm talking to another person and how I decided to, assign all those letters is now in reverse order, that means you that had that primary key yesterday, you will not be able to understand what you are communicating because I've changed that primary key. So that is the same way encoding works in the cybersecurity space. Okay, I hope we grabbed something today. Okay, I'm happy that Jane mentioned that today is not this is her first time for playing a game like this. Witty, okay, she says it's not her first time. Joseph, first time. Stephen, first time. Steve Jobs, not his first time. Gabriel, first time. Janet's first time. And for it to be your first time and you still got it, it means that cybersecurity is not hard as we think it is. Okay, so today I was speaking somewhere and I was asked to talk about what's it called? I was asked to speak about breaking into tech through non-coding career paths. All right, and I brought in cybersecurity into it, and people were surprised because we don't even know that inside cybersecurity there are a lot of career paths that do not involve anything coding at all. Okay, there is nothing that will make you to write any single line of code. Even when you are practicing technically, is you understanding all those tools and implementing it fully how it is needed. Okay, and that is to tell you that it is not as hard as we think it is. Personally, I studied civil engineering before I broke into data, moved into GRC, which is an aspect of cybersecurity, and then different other career paths. So you don't have to be in the cybersecurity space. You don't have to actively be a fully blown tech person for you to say, oh, I want to move into cybersecurity. It is not hard, but it is not also easy, which means you have to give something for you to take something in return. Okay, let me look through the comments and see people that got my latest question. Okay, get into tech today. Fantastic, Witty, Boluwatife, Sandy, Uruejoma, Abisoye. Okay, fantastic. Jane also got that. Richie got that. And also Accees got that as well. Get into tech today. So that is what that last sentence meant. So if you are able to get this, just know that you are already a cybersecurity beginner person. You can speak that, oh, while I was trying to train, I was able to decrypt some coded things using the primary keys for that exact message. And that is what you just tried out today. If you If you speak with people that are active on LinkedIn, they will tell you that there is normal language that we speak, and there is a LinkedIn language. Okay, something that is very minute. You can blow it so large that people would see you visibly. Okay, that is what I want us to also be able to do. Okay, so my colleagues Sophia and Yanulua, they are dropping the link to the attendance form. Remember, the link is what you are going to use to get access to the slides and also to the recorded version of this discussion. All right, we'll have other examples in the comment section, in the chat rather, that I want you to also go through and try to solve it on your own to know what they also mean. Okay, so when you get the slide, you can now personally try to decrypt them and know what they mean. Practice, practice, practice. Do anything that can make you get better tomorrow is if you practice today. So now that I've been able to get this game out of the way, let's talk cybersecurity. Okay, let's talk about cybersecurity. If you are still following me to this very moment, please feel free to drop in any comments in the comment section so that I'll be sure that I have people that are under the influence of my voice. If you can still hear me, please feel free to type anything in the comment section. And while you're at it, make sure that you fill the attendance form so that if you have any reason to drop off, maybe call, network, anything happens, after the session, you get the slide and you also get the recorded version of this discussion. So what is cybersecurity? All right. Everyone always mentions cybersecurity, cybersecurity, cybersecurity. I want to move into cybersecurity. What is cybersecurity actually all about? So the same way that we have people that protect our physical assets, if you want to walk into any compound now, these days we'll have security people that are physically present to guide those buildings, to guard those buildings rather. Now, you can't gain entrance without having reason to pass that first step. So people, security men, are physically guarding assets. That is how we have people their responsibility is also to guard and protect the systems, the networks, the digital assets that exist there from external influence. Okay, so the same way on your phone, you have two-factor authentication, you have your facial recognition, you have your password, all in your phone to make sure that nobody gets access into it. Cybersecurity is simply the practice of doing that same thing over our systems and network to make sure that there is no external influence into that on all those assets. Okay, and the primary role in cybersecurity is to make sure that confidentiality, integrity, and availability of our data that they are protected. Okay, and this is what we call the CIA triad. Okay, you can easily visualize the CIA triad by looking at the triangle that I have in my screen right now. No matter the career path they are looking to get into cybersecurity through, you need to have understanding of the CIA triad, information security principle. Okay, that is the principle on which everything that you're going to be doing in cybersecurity is hinged on. And that is confidentiality, integrity, and also availability of data. Right? I'll try to explain three of them for us to also understand what it means. Now, confidentiality, when we talk about it, simply means making sure that people that do not have reason to understand or have access to that data, that they don't have access to it. Okay, so for instance, let's talk about encryption. No audio, please, from my end. I don't know. Please, if you can hear me, just do anything so that I'll be sure that it's not from my own side. Someone just dropped there's no audio. And if you can't hear me, okay, please also try to log out and log back into the session. Make sure you click to join using the audio, okay? Because a couple of people can hear me, all right? Please make sure you leave the call, join back, and click the Wi-Fi sign to join so they can be able to join using the Wi-Fi device and be able to hear me clearly. So when we talk about confidentiality, is the ability to protect our data from people that do not have access to it from to having access. So examples of it can also relate to what we just did now. All right, encryption, whether it is data at rest, which refers to data that is stored in any device. Possibly in your company, you have your data lab, you have your server room, or anything that you guys call it. Data is stored inside there. Now, for that data to be protected so that people that do not have any reason to have access will not have access, encryption also happens. And for you to decrypt that data, you need to have the primary key, which is an example of what I just explained now. So what we did is an aspect of encryption, whether it's data at rest or in transit, meaning the one that might be existing in any transferable device, your hard disk, your external hard drives, your CD-ROM, as the case may be. They also have tokenization and masking, where you mask a data to have just hashtags. Okay, for instance, an example is account numbers these days. If you see your account number, possibly you see the first two and also see the last two. The in-between numbers are always masked out. And this is to make sure that if you don't need to have access to that account, you're not going to know what it means. And of course, access controls. This is just like a means where we give access to people. It can be a departmental access control. It can be hierarchical access control. For instance, here in analytics, if you're in the finance department, you'll have access to data speaking to our finance. Someone that is in the operational department will not be able to know, oh, this is what's going on in our finance actually. That's departmental control. Then there's the hierarchical one where, okay, you're a team lead, you are just an intern, a junior staff, you may not have access to some certain data. And that is how access control also plays a role with respect to confidentiality. Now, when we talk about integrity of data, we'll have also digital signature, access control, and message digest. Okay, to protect the integrity of that data, to make sure that nobody has seen it. That's where hashing comes in also. All right, and then digital signature, if you have an email and you have your signature after all your mails, that same way that in cybersecurity, there's a way for you to also digitally sign your messages that there will not be any repudiation. Once anyone sees that digital signature, I can't come and say, oh, this didn't come from me. Even if someone took my device and sent it, so far as it has my digital signature, I cannot repudiate it, which means I've stamped it. It is my own life. All right, so I'm going to move a little bit fast. And of course, availability of data. Data needs to be available to people that needs it at any time that they do. All right, and that's where you need your IDS and your IPS. IDS talking about intrusion detection system, where if there is an intrusion, the system is going to detect it. We also have IPS, intrusion prevention systems. If there's an intrusion, the system is going to detect and also prevent it. So all this makes sure that nobody has access to our data without being authorized to do so. And patch management makes sure that consistently we are updating our files, making sure that the patch are updated. And of course, you have the other aspects that also relate to availability. So if you're looking to get into cybersecurity, it is very, very crucial for you to understand the CIA triad. And that's why I've taken the time out to try to explain what the CIA triad means, so they can also have a better understanding of what you are trying to get into. And that is simply confidentiality, integrity, and then availability of data. Now, so why do cybersecurity guys earn more than other people? Why do they earn more? Now, let's look at these market projections that I was able to see on the internet. All right, so the market projection was saying something that got me very, very interested in it. As of 2023, the damages that cybercrime caused only in the United States alone increased by 21%. Okay, and that 21% amounted to a total of 12.5 billion US dollars. Now, this is what happened in 2023. Okay, the cybercrime increased by 21%, and it resulted in a loss of 12.5 billion in US dollars. Now, you agree with me that this is just the people that reported their losses, people that reported that they had an incident. Now, and most companies do not actually report all these incidents. And the reason is simple. If someone has access to my data, let me use what's been going on with TikTok as an example now. If people have access to our data through TikTok, as has been said, companies do not come out openly to say, oh, someone had access to your data. Okay, someone had access to your data. So it is a loss of trust in the customers. So they do not even try to report all those incidents, even when they occur. So for we to have a 21% increase that resulted in $12.5 billion for people that even came out to report, that should tell you the level of issue that we have with respect to cybercrime. It has been on the rise a lot. Okay, if you are from any of the African countries, if you are from Nigeria also, you may have heard about the boys that also wear hoodies and although as the case may be. Now, all this amounted to all these cyber crimes that exist. And what it resulted to is that by 2023 also, they had 1 million plus jobs, and we only have 400,000 trained available cybersecurity experts. So this means that there was a shortage of 600 trained cybersecurity people to man all those roles. Now, by 2025 that we are in now, right, as reported by Cybersecurity Jobs Report, there is over 3.5 million openings for cybersecurity. So don't take my word for it. After the call, get the slide, click on the link there for you to also read the reports extensively and have a personal opinion about it. Okay? Have a personal opinion about it. Now, what this means is that we have less supply of cybersecurity experts and high demand of cybersecurity experts. And in our normal basic economic classes, I don't know how many of us that still remember the economic classes that we had growing up. Now, if supply is low and demand is high, what happens to price, please? Let me know people that can still remember. If supply is low and demand is high, what happens to price? Okay, I can see a couple of comments dropping. Witty mentioned increased, amazing. George also mentioned price increases. Good luck increases, price will skyrocket. Apisoye increases, the price goes up, and it's very, very simple. So if I can see my screen, once the demand is high and supply is low, okay, price will instantly increase. Okay, and in the current state of cybersecurity that it is across the globe, there is demand because we have a lot of openings, but there is low supply because we do not have available people to fill in all those roles. So it has made those people that are available for their own price to increase. Because if I'm on a job right now, I'm working as a cybersecurity expert at the moment, and then there's opening everywhere and they've not seen how to fill those roles, my own price is going to go up because I will not be like, oh, I mean, if these guys don't want me, I can easily go to Mr. B that actually need me. So that is why you should also be able to consider breaking into this career path that demand is very, very high and the supply is slim. So do not wait until the supply gets filled before you now start moving into it. So this is also something that we see in the Forex or the crypto market, okay? When the noise exists, people that have made money from that exact token, from that digital asset, have taken their money and they've left. And if you're just hearing the noise and you're trying to enter, that's the point where you are buying the top, okay? So it's important for you to buy at the support and sell at, what's it called again? I've forgotten all those terms, right? So make sure that you buy when it's low and not when it is high. So now that the supply is low, it is best time for you to get into the sector because you are getting into the sector when the supply is low Demand is high, simply meaning that you at least will land at a high price. The best point for you is at most entering at this equilibrium price, okay? Which means the place where supply and demand interjected. That's the best point. We need 3 million cybersecurity experts, and in the world, we have 3 million cybersecurity experts. That's the best point that you can enter. But at the point that supply becomes higher than the demand, the price will start reducing. So the reason why cybersecurity experts still earn more in today's world is because the demand is high, but the supply is low, which means it is the right time for you to get into this segment. Another reason why they also earn so high is because of the high stakes and business impact. All right. So let me give an example now. If a data analyst makes a mistake, what do you think is going to happen? And if a cybersecurity analyst makes a mistake, which one do we think is going to have a very heavy weight on the business? The data analyst's mistake or the cybersecurity guy's mistake? Or let's assume there's lack of a data analyst in a company and there's lack of a cybersecurity expert in the company. Which one do you think will cost the company more? Okay, Abisoye mentioned cybersecurity will definitely cost the company more with respect of mistake. And that's also why they have high earning power. Okay? Because once there is a cybersecurity issue, one is that there will be loss of revenue, definitely. There will be loss of shareholders' trust, definitely. Which means if I hear that, okay, the little money that I have back in Nigeria with one of the banks, that the bank is having issues, I'm going to instantly start looking for ways to take out my money. All right. And that is the idea. Once there is cybersecurity issue, one is that you have both revenue loss, you have shareholder loss, you have reputational loss. So it will definitely run through the entire possible losses that exist in the business, right? But if a data analyst is not available, a possible thing that we might have is we might have a loss of revenue because someone is not there to talk us through the data and how we can also make improvements there. Okay, it will not result to any reputational loss. It's not going to result to any shareholders loss. It's just maybe they will not be able to maximize their revenue. But once there is a cybersecurity issue, it will result in all these three losses that I just mentioned. So the stakes are very high, and they also have high business impact when we talk about the possibilities or issues that can come out from cybersecurity. Okay, and lastly, there are a lot of reasons why they also earn high. But let me talk about this lastly, and that is they are not interchangeable, right? When is the cybersecurity class starting? Okay, success, I'll definitely talk about it, okay? So lastly, number 3 is they have specialized skill sets, okay? It is not interchangeable with any roles in the tech space. In today's world, you can see someone saying, oh, I need a data scientist that can function as a data analyst. I need a business analyst that can function as a data analyst. I need a data engineer that can function also as a data scientist. But when it comes to cybersecurity, there is nobody else. There is nothing like I need a data analyst that will also play a role of a cybersecurity guy. Or I need a cybersecurity person that will also function as a tech sales person. So they have that monotony. They are not competing with anyone. In today's world, data analyst is there, data science is there, business analysis is there, and they all have relatabilities with respect to their roles and functions. They have transferable skills. It doesn't mean that there is no transferable skills from this career path into cybersecurity. But when it comes to the technical aspect itself, there is none. So that opportunity for you to have a specialized skill All right, I don't know what happened. My network actually threw me off. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, I know. I can see from my second screen. Just a moment, and I'll bring my screen back up again. Okay, so it should be up in the next few minutes. It should be up in the next few minutes. Okay, it's coming back up now. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right, my screen should be up now. My screen should be up now. Please, can we see my screen? Can we see what I am sharing now? I'm talking about the specialized skills that we currently have. So in the cybersecurity space, okay, success said no. Okay, should come up shortly. Not yet showing. Okay, I'm sure it's showing now. All right, just a minute, please. Just a minute. Let me be sure that my second device is not having any issues personally. Okay, just a minute. Okay, now showing. Okay, it should be up and running fully now. So I was talking about the specialized skills that are cybersecurity experts that only us have. So there is no possibility of someone within that same space coming to say, oh, as a data analyst, I can replace the cybersecurity person, or as the data engineer, I can replace the data scientist. So that's so responsibility that we have with respect to having our own niche give us that increase with respect to how our earning powers are. So nobody else can earn as high as we can because nobody can also replace what we can do. So they are not interchangeable with any roles in the tech space. So I've said three things for you to know. If someone asks, okay, what's the reason why you want to break into cybersecurity ideally? Even without moving into the technical aspects yet, at least you can comfortably be able to speak from these three things that I said. Remember, number one is you understanding the demand and supply. Okay, number one is about demand and supply. Then number two is about the high stakes and the business impact. While number three is talking about the specialized skill that only you possess. So if these are things that you're looking to have in the career path, then cybersecurity, you should be looking towards it fully. Okay, I don't know whether we are with me till this very moment. We've talked about three reasons why they earn higher than every other career path in the tech space. Okay, are we together? I love interaction a lot because it helps me to know that I'm moving with the audience. Thank you so much for responding with it. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, now I'm sure that we are together. Moving on, there are some skills that you need for you to excel as a cybersecurity professional. Okay, and number one is technical skill. Okay, even if you are looking to break into cybersecurity as a non-coding or non-technical path of cybersecurity, you still need to understand some of those technical jargons that you may not interface with your day-to-day activity. As a GRC professional, that's governance, risk, and compliance, you are more aligned towards the regulatory and compliance aspect of cybersecurity. But it doesn't mean that you should not have those technical understanding. Because for you to build a better policy, for you to build better regulation, you need to understand the technicalities. So first skill that you need is to have those technical skills. Number two is understand cybersecurity fully. Okay, one mistake that people make in today's world is that you want to be a cybersecurity expert. And what you're saying is, oh, I want to be a pen tester, I want to be a vulnerability assessment guy without understanding the general aspect of cybersecurity. So this is where people introduce loopholes into their careers. For instance, if you are a medical doctor today, before you even get to specialization, I'm sure you did possibly your 1 to 4 years together. Then you're now moving on to a different sector. You're now moving on to a different what's it called, department. Maybe you want to be a neurosurgeon, you want to be a pediatrist, you want to be optometrist, as the case may be. But you've been a full general doctor first before you moved into other specialization. So cybersecurity is like that. Make sure that you get that full domain knowledge before you move into specialization. It's going to help you, one, because of the relatability in most of those industries, most of those sectors. Two, if you're looking for a role in one and you are not seeing it, it's not forthcoming, you can easily be able to move to the other. It's just like the way we have developers also. There are front-end devs and there are back-end devs. That's front-end developers and back-end developers. But we now have also full-stack developers, people that understand the front end and understand the back end, which means that easily for them, they can work in both aspects. That's why you as a cybersecurity person, it's also important for you to have that general cybersecurity domain knowledge so they can comfortably work in all those roles that exist in cybersecurity. But if you do not have the domain knowledge and what you're just doing is, you just jumped straight into moving to pen tester or vulnerability assessment officer or GRC person, as the case may be, it means that you have tied yourself in that exact streamlined pattern. And if you do not see a job early, it means that you cannot even switch. So make sure that you get the cybersecurity knowledge, and also soft skills is very important. As cybersecurity professionals, communication, leadership, management, business acumen, they all play a role with how successful you are going to be there. So if your soft skill is also about investigation, I mean, there is this joke that we have, in-house joke, that ladies perform more as cybersecurity experts than guys. And then it was now related to, if a lady wants to see anything about you, they can easily do FBI and come out with the results on you. So it's also impacted in how they are able to find issues and resolve it. So if you are the kind of person that you also can easily, once you see a picture of my hand behind a girl and my face is not there, you can do your FBI work and find out who the guy is. It means that you should not even be wasting your time doing any of that. Just move into cybersecurity, because you already have that soft skill, that internal, built knowledge to be able to find all those things. So it is important for you not to also neglect the soft skill. And most importantly, learning the tools. Okay, it's important for you to learn the tools and software that's applicable to cybersecurity. The worst mistake you can make while trying to break into cybersecurity is you do not have any technical skill and you are moving to do, I want to go and get a certificate. I want to go and write this certification exam. You don't know how to use VirtualBox. You don't know how to use Kali Linux. You don't know how to use Nmap or Wireshark, but you're jumping to get certification. Certification is just a confirmation of a knowledge that you already know. But if you are jumping to get certificates without getting the knowledge first, what are you confirming? So make sure that you don't box yourself into that wall, because once you count 4, for you to now come and count 1, it's going to be very hard for you. Okay, but Wireshark is not for entry level success. Fantastic comments, success. But it's also important that you have all those. I'll still talk about all the tools. Okay, I'll get to that aspect. Just make sure you're with me. I'll talk about all the tools and how it relates to cybersecurity, so that I can also be able to see it. Now, Wireshark, which we use for network analysis to check for topologies, right? It can be a beginner level Wireshark usage. If you start using Wireshark today, it doesn't mean that you are going to become an advanced or expert instantly. In fact, you can't be an expert from training. I always tell people this: you can't be an expert from training. You can only move from basic level to advanced level and then land a job. Now on the job, you can now constantly be improving yourself to now reach that expertise level that you need. Okay, now I'm digressing because of the question that Success dropped. Okay, but one of the skills that you also need is teamwork and collaboration, which is why we have teams in cybersecurity. We have the blue team, we have the red team. That's the defense-minded team and the attack-minded team. Okay, and I'm still going to explain all of them very well. And lastly, continuous learning. If you are someone that you're not willing to continuously be learning, then you should not be in cybersecurity, because constantly the bad guys are not stopping. Okay, the bad guys are not stopping. Constantly, the bad guys are also trying to learn new ways to outsmart people, to outsmart companies to gain access to their data. Okay, someone is asking if Python is needed. So Python is not needed for your basic to advanced level in cybersecurity. It is not needed. All right, but I'm still going to walk us through it fully when I get into that aspect. Now, let's look at some of the possibilities of what you can earn. We are using dollars for the sake of global understanding. So if you are in Canada, if you are in UK, if you're in Nigeria, if you're in South Africa or Ghana, as the case may be, please bear with me. You can do the conversion and also see the equivalence. Now, for cybersecurity analysts, they earn upwards of $6,000 per year. Before someone who asks is per month, it is per year. Okay, it is per year. They are cybersecurity experts and not thieves. So it is $60,000 per year. And we also have the security engineers that earn as high as 85 to 120 per year per annum. Okay, we have the security operations center analyst, SOC analysts that earn within 65 to 85,000 per annum as well. And then you have your ethical hacker, your pen tester, that is now climbing up between 95,000 to 160,000. And then also your security consultants that play full in the consulting space between 90 and 140. And of course, your incident response analysts between 110 and 160. Now, let me say something. The first role that we have there, they are all fully technical guys. But you see the incident response analyst, this guy, he's not even handling any technical aspect. Okay, it's majorly from the aspect of incident response and forensic analysis. And he is earning as high as this. So when you think about some of these possible career paths, that coding or that technical aspect is embedded in it, it doesn't mean that that person will earn higher than you. Okay, so Chukwu, are you telling me you make this much in a year? That's from Sandy. Sandy, I don't know. I don't know if I make that much in a year. All right. Now, we also have people are trading me off balance. Okay, security architects that earn 120 to 180. We have security compliance analysts that earn between 80,000 to 140,000. And of course, we also have your cloud security engineers that earn between 120 and 180. Now, thank you so much for asking me that question. If I earn as high as this, there are some roles that you are going to see. Even this one said, now this is the average that we're able to get from all these countries, and then we got the average, which means there might be someone, for let me use cybersecurity analyst, that may be earning $20,000 per year, and there might be someone that is earning 120,000 per year. Okay, the average is now what brought it to 60,000. So don't misunderstand it when you're seeing that average, so that you don't go and start, oh, if it's not that 60,000, I'm not taking. Always look from where you are coming from. And like I always mention to people, it's easier for you to move from your role to another role. You already have a job. It's easier for you to increase your income by moving to a different role. But getting in is the most important part. Once you're able to climb that step one and be in the cybersecurity space, the rest is history. Okay, so make sure that you get in, and then continuously you're now building to upskill and also increase your earning power, right? But these are possibilities that can also be yours by breaking to cybersecurity. Now, there are also different other career paths that are not even technical. You have your GRC, like I mentioned. These people ensure that the business goals are aligned with the regulatory requirements. Okay, they make sure that business goal meets technical requirements. You have your research analysts, people that research on what is going on in the space. The same way the boys in hoodie are constantly earning more or trying to also research ways to gain access into your devices. Someone in the cybersecurity space also researches to know, how do I make sure that I maneuver the bad guys? So research analysts also exist. Have your user access manager. When you join a new company, someone builds your profile, someone gives you your access card, someone makes sure that you have all those access level. They are also playing in the cybersecurity space. You have a security awareness trainer, which I can also pass for, because people that can constantly speak. And the good thing about this security awareness trainer is that You can be working as a pen tester, you can be working as a GRC, you can be working as a full-time person on a role, and the other one is just like a side thing that you are doing. Because training is something that I always tell people that you can always make side incomes from. And have your social engineers. These are people that are, wired to try to play you into, diverging critical assets to them. Okay, social engineers that they will have the love scams that exist now. They can also pass as social engineers. Someone is trying to use love to get you to release some, hard-coded data to them. So all these are career paths that exist in cybersecurity. So don't say that if it's not pen testing, if it's not vulnerability assessment, if it's not those ones like coding, I'm not going to do it. So that's why when someone asks if Python is needed, it is not needed for all the roles, okay? And for someone trying to get into cybersecurity, I wouldn't even advise you to overburden yourself with that knowledge yet, okay? Get those initial skills first, and then can now be able to break in from there. Now, I know I mentioned that we have the blue team and we have the red team. The blue team that defense focused and the red team that attack focused. We also have the purple team, all right? Someone that has both knowledge and is in between the blue and the red team. So most important, I always advise people, strive to be a purple team member, okay? Don't box yourself to just be red team or blue team, which means you're either just a defender or an attacker. If you are a purple team, you have more value because it can contribute to both parties and it can also increase your own value in the company. I hope we are still here. So I want us to do a little bit of practical before I move on instantly, just to show us what someone's role can actually be as a cybersecurity expert. Okay, what it can actually be. Now, there's a link which I always use, and that should be haveibeenpawned.com. So this is a link for you to know if your email has been compromised. And cybersecurity experts on day-to-day basis in companies constantly try to check the emails of their staff that have been exposed. So for virtue of this training, please feel free, if you want us to check if your email has been compromised, feel free to drop it, and I'm going to run a quick check, and then we are going to move on instantly. Okay, so it's called haveibeenpawned.com to know the pawnage that exists in your email, and also tell you the platform that those vulnerabilities are seen. So this can also serve as what a user access control person, what their day-to-day activity entails fully. Are we scared to share our emails for me to check? Okay, I can see in the last one. So quickly, let me check with Nella. So Nella type Nella run. Sorry, my system is still scanning to be sure that the website I'm visiting is not a bad one. Okay, it's ready to go. Okay, I have Nella run at yahoo.com. All right, let's check if you've been exposed or there's a lot of emails right now. Okay, so Nella, you are actually pawned. So you can see that you're pawned in 9 data breaches and found 2 pastes. So you can, when you scroll down also, you can see breaches where your email, the platforms that your email got breached through. So you can see that LinkedIn, anti-public combo list, exploits, blah, 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 netlog, and so on and so forth, and also Twitter. So these platforms, you've had vulnerabilities that existed through these platforms. So if you've not changed your email since May 2016 or December 2016, late 2016 also, some of these platforms that you logged into had pawnages at that exact moment. So your email, you might consider changing your password. Okay, let me choose the next person that we have there. That should be Dotson Ibrahim. 841 at gmail.com. So let's check if Dotson is clean or if he's not clean. So Dotson, congratulations. Good news, no pawnage found. You've been clean. Okay, so go and sin no more. All right, we have Jean Peniel. I have Jean Peniel. Hope I got the spelling correctly. It's at gmail.com. So I may not be able to go through everyone's email. So Jean Peniel, you also have issues, okay? You also have vulnerability. You can see pond and 3 data breaches and found no pay. So if you scroll down, you can see the platforms that the breaches occur. Stealer logs on Telegram, combo list on Telegram, and also Stealer logs, okay? And this is actually very, very fresh as at this year, 2025. So you might want to also consider changing your email address. So I'll send the link to this in the comment section so that we can also have access and be able to go through it on our own. So I may not be able to, talk through every single one of them. Okay, I may not be able to check everyone's email, but I'm trying to drop the comments in the comment section so that we can also be able to have access and personally check for ourselves and see what is currently going on. Okay, so please let me just quickly drop it in the comment section so that you on your own can also try to check it. And also remember, my colleague dropped the link to the slide, right? My colleague dropped the link to the slide. So when you get the slide, you can also easily also click on that link and be able to test and check if your email is currently vulnerable. Okay, and if you see any pawnage rather, if you've been pawned on any site, please make sure that you change your password as fast as possible, because it means that there are people that have access to your email. They can actually read everything that's going on in your email. So I can see a lot of emails. Please try mine because I received unknown messages, Richie. So I've dropped the link. Please make sure that you click on that link to also test for yourself, because I may not be able to go through everyone's email. And most importantly, make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleagues, Sophia and Yanoluwa, the links that they are dropping, because that is what we are going to use to share the slide for this session and also the recorded version of this session to you after this conversation. So Yanoluwa just dropped the link again. Make sure you fill in that attendance form. When you get it, try to just click on this place that you see, let's get into it. And then try to check if your password has been compromised. And if it's compromised, make sure that you change the password. There's no two ways. Instantly change your password and then move on. Okay, so this is also some functions that some access control managers, this is their day-to-day activity. When they come to work, the responsibility, they can be doing it as a weekly task or as a monthly task. Okay, I'm going to make sure that every email that exists in our company, that they are not exposed. Okay, and you have to run it through some platforms to find if they have been exposed and then advise those individuals to change their password. Are we still here to this very moment? If you are still here and the conversation so far has been interesting to you, please just drop any comments in the chat box so that I'll be sure that you are actually following me. How about how to spot if there's any spyware on your gadgets, specifically laptops? At that moment in Sandy, you have to start looking at other external software that we need to install. For instance, you notice that for me to even log into the haveibeenpawned.com, my system was constantly scanning. So if at any point you notice that that website is breached, it's not even going to allow me to log into it at all. Okay, so there are different softwares that exist for this, and these are part of the things that we also walk our students through, having a general understanding of. Because these are things that makes you a full cybersecurity expert and also helps you with respect to being able to practice effectively. All right, thank you for that. Okay, I can see a couple of comments dropping. I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Ricky is just dropping his own email. Ricky, please fill the attendance form. You see the link there, and then try to personally on your own check if your email has been compromised. Okay, so how do you get started? How do you get started? If you can see my screen, this is strategy. It's strategy. You are strategizing. How do you get started in this technical career path that you want to get to? Selecting the right career path. Now, by virtue of people that may not be able or do not want cybersecurity. I'm going to talk to you about something random right now. What we do at the beginning of each year is to look at the different job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs, looking at the post that was done for that year. And then we analyze them using three main metrics: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and also high rewarding salary. Okay, and this is how we got different career paths that we help people to transition into. Okay, so when you ask yourself, which tech skill do I need to learn to get a job quickly? Consider all these 8 career paths. First is business analysis. Second is agile project management. The other one is data analysis. We have data science, data engineering. We have financial analytics and also HR analytics. Now, by virtue of this training, those ones are blanked out because tonight, or this afternoon rather, we are concentrating on talking about cybersecurity fully and also cybersecurity. So all these 8 career paths that are going to help you land a job that gives you ease of learning, also give you ease of transition, and lastly, high rewarding salary. So after we've seen these 8 career paths, we'll try to validate them to make sure that these career paths that are going to be relevant in the next coming years. They're not a career path that if you move into, you're going to be knocked off tomorrow. For instance, most people are already asking questions, oh, this one like DeepSeek is already here. So DeepSeek is a new open AI that has an open AI that you can always use to build different things. So it's giving ChatGPT a run for their money. And a lot of people are already questioning, oh, are you sure that this is a career path for me? What I always mention to people is that AI currently always come up, and what they are going to help you do is learn how to optimize on the role. For instance, as a data analyst, as a cybersecurity guy, you can also utilize all those AI platforms to optimize what you are currently doing on the role. Okay, so not to digress, all these 8 career paths, we try to validate how relevant they are going to be in the next future. So we looked at the World Economic Forum report. Okay, and what the World Economic Forum report mentioned is that in the next 5 years, by 2030, all right, a lot of things are going to happen. One is 170 million jobs will be created, all right, and then 92 million jobs will be destroyed. Okay, 92 million jobs will be destroyed. You can see this red side represents the jobs that will be destroyed. This blue side represents jobs that will just remain stable, while the green side represents new career paths that will come up. Okay, new jobs that will be created. So what I always advise to do is ensure that you are on the green side of things. At least land on the blue side. At least land on the blue side, because this means that your job is safe. And which career paths are these things that we're talking about? There are a lot of them, right? So all the ones that we have on this left-hand side, these are jobs that will grow. Or the ones that we have on this right-hand side represent jobs that will decline in the next coming years. And I'm not the one that said it, it's the World Economic Forum report. Okay, so when you get the slide, look through it and see if you are currently existing on this right-hand side. If you're on this right-hand side, make sure that you move to this left-hand side. Okay, make sure that you move to the left-hand side. Now, if you see the jobs that are going to grow, you will notice one thing in common. For all those first 10 jobs, or even first 15 jobs that we have here, they all play in the tech ecosystem. All right, they all play in the tech industry. So tech jobs are actually the highest in demand jobs that will offer you what you are looking for. Number one amongst them now is big data specialist. Okay, but if you see the one I highlighted, the information security analyst, this is to show you that cybersecurity analysts are also in demand. Okay, and this is the World Economic Forum report. So this is a report that comes out each year after the world leaders from various sectors come together to discuss some certain topics. They have a segment called Future of Jobs. So there they discuss how the jobs have been for the last year and how the improvements are going to come for the new year. So from 2025 to 2030, these are jobs that will grow. And One thing I'm trying to also outline here is that if the fastest growing jobs are existing in the tech sector, it should tell you something. Someone needs to protect the data that all these people are bringing out. Someone needs to be able to protect the information that all these other sectors are bringing out. The one that the big data specialist is churning out, the one that fintech engineers are bringing out, someone needs to protect those data. And that is where you and I come in. And that is the cybersecurity expert. Okay, so it is a career path that is in demand. It's a career path that is also fast growing. So it is right for you to be on that side of things. And for you to land the job, one mistake that we always make is that we start from this number 2 to try to apply to job. But first thing that you need is this number 1, which is learn the skill. All right. Then number 2, package yourself. Someone was asking today if packaging is lying. All right. So, and what I answered the person is actually very simple. When you say on LinkedIn that you blow things out of proportion, does it mean that you lied? No. It simply means that you learned a better way to present yourself to look like the bigger person in the room. So it's important for you to also learn how to package. 1 is to learn the skill, 2 is to package yourself, and then number 3 is to apply. Jobs are not going to fly from heaven and fall on your lap. So you need to also be able to apply to those roles. These are things that will guarantee you the job. And all these always seem impossible until it is done, which is why I brought some success stories of people that have been able to make this switch before now. Okay, so you have Ikmat. Ikmat did hers with data analytics and she moved. You have Ramat. And when these people are transitioning, they're not coming from a technical career path. They're coming from a background that's entirely different from the tech ecosystem. And they were able to land remote jobs. They were able to land visa-sponsored jobs up to this very moment. So I'm going to try and play the video of the cybersecurity guy. All right, but I want you to do something for me. When you get this slide, feel free to look through all of them and try to hear what they said. Okay, so along this discussion, I will come up with the cybersecurity guy's phone and play that video. So it is possible for you to move from the classroom into landing a job. And how were we able to help these people to move from our classroom into landing their first roles? It is simple. We have what we call the 6-step approach that we use to help people. And number 1 is simply for you to identify your desired tech career path. It is very important because this is where some people miss out. I was speaking to someone yesterday afternoon. The lady mentioned, oh, I want to get into data science, but I also want to learn data modeling. I want to also learn Apache Spark and Apache Airflow. And these are things that are meant for data engineers. So I told her it is simple, actually. Pursue your career path from the data science that you want to do. Then after you've fully built yourself as a data scientist, land a job. And then on that job, you are continuously now upskilling and learning. The worst mistake you make is trying to learn everything at once. So it's important for you to, first of all, identify your own desired tech career paths. And by virtue of this discussion, I want to assume that we've all identified cybersecurity as our own desired tech career path. Then number 2 is for you to learn the skills. And here at Analysts, we'll teach using 2-based approach. 1 is self-paced learning, where you have videos done by the facilitator, practical videos for you to practice and replicate. And we'll have live instructor-led classes for you to be in a session, and someone like myself is now teaching you practically live and direct for you to have a project-based understanding. So we use blended approach to make sure that you understand what you need to know. Then number 3 is for you to gain project-based experience. Someone is going to come on this call and ask me, oh, I know how to use Nmap, but I've not used Nmap to work on a project. How do I get started? Now, it is important for you to know how to use a tool with respect to project. One mistake that we also make is this. It's not a problem for you to learn all those tools from different platforms. We have people that mention, oh, I learned Excel on Udemy. I learned Power BI on what's it called, Coursera, as the case may be. But how do you use Excel to work on a project? What you are going to learn is ideally, okay, sum if, this is how you perform sum if, this is how you perform average, this is how you perform X lookup, this is how you perform Y lookup. But on the job, if you are given a project, your manager is not going to come and tell you, oh, Chukwemeka, use X lookup to find out what happened between the first workers that we had yesterday and the second workers. He's not going to give you that instruction. So it's for you to know, okay, this is a project that you have been given. This is the objective. What do you need to do to be able to solve that problem? And that is why it's important for you to learn using project-based model. Because when you learn using project-based model, it exposes you to not just learning the tool, but also how you apply all those tools. Number 4 is for you to gain employability skill. This is very, very important. And I will devote a particular slide and discuss it fully. Employability skill, talking about your CV review sessions, LinkedIn optimization sessions, CVs, reference and recommendation letters are very, very crucial. Okay. Then number 5 is networking. The importance of networking cannot be understated. Okay. Someone mentioned something to me today that it is not about who you know, but it's about who knows you. Okay. A student of ours moved into a company in UK, and after he moved there, that company was also looking for someone else, and he simply brought in somebody that he passed through the same cohort with, and right now two of them are working in the same company. So networking is very, very important. The mentorship session. Don't underrate the importance of mentors. Okay, people that will come to guide you with respect to what you need to know. Is networking necessary in cybersecurity? Very, very, very important. Success. But what you're saying now, I don't know whether it's networking in the literal aspect of connecting with people, or networking in the aspect of your LAN, your WAN, your IPs, and understanding network topology. So you might need to be a little bit elaborate for me to clearly understand you more. So all these 6 steps that you've taken is to bring you to this last part, which is you have gotten the job. Nobody's learning all these things just for the sake of just learning. Most important thing is that we want to be able to improve our lives and land a different thing. If you jump any step, it might hurt you. So make sure that you pass through this process for you to be able to understand fully. Now, this is a question I also ask people. Networking like networking plus. Okay, yeah, it's very, very important success. If you have a car and your car spoils now, are you going to give your car to a graduate from Harvard University saying, oh, I'm a mechanical engineering graduate from Harvard University, bring your car, let me repair it for you? Or we give your car to that roadside guy that you are seeing that is saying, oh, this is my mechanic workshop. I didn't go to Harvard. I don't have any degree, but I've repaired Aston Martin, I've repaired Toyota, I've repaired Benz. This is my mechanic workshop. Whom are you going to give your car to? Okay, someone have already answered. Okay, are you going to give it to this or to that guy? Gochi mentioned experienced guy. That is how it also plays in fully. Okay, Lom R also mentioned that guy. All right, fully in the tech industry, nobody cares what school you went to. Okay, if you joined us at the beginning of this session, I'm going to go back to it so that we can also see what the richest man in the world said. This is what he said, okay? And I'm going to read it one more time and then we'll move on. If you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build everything up, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked at. Just show us your code. So this is to tell you that nobody cares the certificate, the school, the company that you've worked with. All that matters is your skill and your experience. And if this is how the richest man in the world is thinking, it should tell you how the world have also changed with regards to the tech industry and regards to certificates and experience. So make sure that you are that guy and not just this guy. If possible, be this and also be that. Okay, but most importantly, that will always win. Okay, so make sure that you are that guy that always have that experience. Now, what skills do you need for you to get into cybersecurity in 2025? I know Success was asking a couple of things relating to network security. So I'm going to walk us through some key learning areas that you need to have experience in if you are looking to break into cybersecurity. First thing you need to understand is introduction to cybersecurity. Now, someone will still come on this call and ask me, oh, Chukwuemeka, I don't want to start from the basics. I want to just jump into practicals. So we do not train half-baked professionals, right? We don't train half-baked professionals. So for any of our programs that you're looking to take, you will start from level 1. If you have an initial existing knowledge, see it as a refresher course, right? See it as a refresher course. We don't put people in between. So everyone starts from level 1. And for cybersecurity, it starts from introduction to cybersecurity. And then you move on to learn foundations of cybersecurity and networking. So Success, you can see that networking is important if you are looking to get into cybersecurity. All right, so you move on to learn cybersecurity, you learn computer and networking in cybersecurity. Okay, then afterwards, the next place that you are getting into is what we call the information security principle. So that's also what I just mentioned before now. Those CIA triad that I talked about, you are going to learn how they actually apply to the space that you exist in. All right, because one mistake that we also make is neglecting some of these areas. Okay, then after that information security principle, we're now moving to offensive and defensive cybersecurity. Okay, and for this place down, while you're even learning foundations of computing and networking, you are already also adding the tool knowledge. Okay, how do you use various tools with respect to performing your role? Okay, as someone that is looking to break into SOC analysis, working as a SOC analyst, how do you learn firewalls like Fortinet? How do you learn intrusion detection systems? How do you learn CM tools like Splunk? Endpoint protection, you're also going to learn Microsoft Defender. So for each of these key learning areas, you have a tool that you're learning relating to it. Okay, then you move on to for offensive and defensive cybersecurity, you're going to be learning Nmap with respect to vulnerability assessment, then Nexus with respect to vulnerability assessment, also learning how to also utilize Shodan for your vulnerability scanning. So you're consistently learning different tools that you're going to be using to perform on the job. Then cyber threat and attack vectors, you are learning how do you utilize Splunk to analyze your threats. Then security, like I also mentioned, you are learning how to utilize sys package tracer and also as well as learning how to also use Wireshark for a network analysis. Then for endpoint security, you're now looking at tools that you also need for that endpoint security. You're looking at your Microsoft Defender with respect to endpoint security. Web and application security, you're also learning how to use Metasploit for your exploitations, your Bob suite, ideally, for your web and application security, and same thing as cloud security. So you can clearly see that each of those key learning areas that you have, you need to learn a tool relating to it. And this is the only way you can be able to have those knowledge that you need to break into the sector. Okay, and then you're also going to now learn incident response and forensics, and of course, cybersecurity policies and compliance. This is where GRC come in. And I can see that GRC is the last. And why it's last is because for you to build a good regulatory platform, you need to understand the technicalities. So one mistake that people make is that, oh, GRC is just a non-technical career path. Let me just move into it. If you move to a career path without understanding the technical aspects, you may not actually easily grow there. Okay, it's just like saying you work in a bank and you are a control officer or an audit officer, right? You can't control or audit what you don't know. So there is need for you to have those initial soft foundational understanding before you now move on to the place you want to be in. Now, for our own program, it is all Saturday classes that we have. Okay, so I'm moving to now talk to you about our own program. They are all Saturday-based classes. So it's weekend classes. And we have 2 classes every Saturday. You can only be in one. So we have the morning class that holds from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And we have the evening class that holds from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. All right. So for people in Europe or Africa, the morning class is suitable for you. For people in North America, the people in Canada or US, the evening class is suitable for you. So because it's 6 p.m. Watts, it should be around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. MST or EST, depending on the exact place you are in Canada. Okay, but ideally, the time is 6 p.m. Watts for people in North America and 11 a.m. Watts for people in Europe and Africa. Okay, so every Saturday, you will have a live class where you have someone walk you through this. Now, the way it works is this. This Saturday, you are having a live class. Next Saturday, you are having a self-paced video to watch. Now, why it's done so is to also give you the ability to learn the small aspect of things. Because if you're coming into class, you are coming into class to have a practical project approach. Okay, but those self-paced learning will be like introductory classes. So you are going to have, for instance, if you intend to start by February 8th, which is our next cohort, before that February 8th, you have what we call week 0, where you're expected to watch a couple of videos to introduce you to some certain things. They are coming into class for week 1, and you're having a live project-based aspect. Okay, and then after each class on Saturday, we'll have what we call drop-in sessions during the week. Now, this happens on Wednesdays ideally, where you are trying to practice what happened over the weekend and you are finding it challenging. All right. So on Wednesdays around this time, you also come into the class to ask questions on some of those topics that you're having issues in. All right. And the facilitator will be right there to say, okay, Success, share your screen, Zazie, share your screen, and so on and so forth. You can easily share your screen and walk the facilitator through the challenges that you are having. Okay, now our program will have 2 main options. We'll have the 8-month plan and we'll have the 12-month plan. For the 8 months, for both of them, actually, you learn in the classroom for 6 months. Okay, so you're going to be learning all these key learning areas using practical-based projects for 6 months in the classroom. Okay, and then after it, the next 2 months, you're going for the 8-month program, you will now start your internship opportunity with a different company, okay? And then if you're going for a 12-month track, after your 6 months classroom learning, you're also moving to a different company for your 6 months internship experience, okay? So both of them, you will learn in the classroom 6 months. And then the difference is now 8 months plan, which is option 1, you have 2 months internship experience. The 12 months plan, you have 6 months internship experience. And where the difference also lies is that you can't compare the experience that a 2 months person will have and the experience that a 6 months person will have. So I know someone will come up and ask me, what's the difference between 6 months, 12 months plan and 8 months plan? Success, the internship is not paid, okay? The internship is not paid, all right? Let me just answer that. So what this means is that you have the unique opportunity to have both Analytics and Amdari in your CV. Can confidently beat your chest and say, oh, while I was consulting with Analytics, I worked on this project. While I was consulting with Amdari, which is our company that you're going to be doing internship in, you worked on this project. So you can put them in your CV and it's going to be backed up at any time because the projects that you are actually working on, they are real life case studies. They are real life projects rather. Okay, the difference is now that while you might be seeing a different company name, because we get consulting services from clients and then we codify them, okay, you may not be seeing the actual company's name because of some data regulatory rules, GDPR and the NDPR, depending on where the consulting service is coming from. We have to protect our signed third parties agreements. So you may not be able to see the actual company, but they are real life projects that our clients also give to us to work on. By virtue of you being a student, you are consulting and working on that same project. So you can comfortably say, oh, when I was consulting with Alexa, I've used Nmap to assess vulnerabilities. While I was working with Amdari, I've used Shodam as a vulnerability scanner. Okay, so you can comfortably be able to speak from a place of experience. Now, all these things, they are all virtual. The class learning is virtual. The internship experience is virtual. And as someone looking to break into the tech industry, you should start looking at having virtual possibilities around you. Okay, for instance, Analytics, we are registered in Canada. We have people scattered across the globe that can comfortably work from anywhere you are. All right, everything that you are doing, they are all fully virtual remote sessions. Okay, so Dari is the name of a company as well. Okay, all right, now for you to land a job, I know I mentioned it before, your technical skill alone is not sufficient for you to get those jobs. So you also need to have the employability skill. This is what is going to help you to land a job offer. And we don't just equip you with technical skill that I've mentioned, we also help you with all these employability skills, starting from CV review sessions, right? So the classes that I talked about, you're also going to have sessions on how do you optimize your CV. The greatest challenge, the greatest reason why people do not land jobs as of today is because they do not tailor their CVs to the job specifics. You cannot use the same CV that you use to apply to a GRC role to apply to a pen tester role. You can't use the same CV to apply to a SOC analyst role. You can't use the same CV to apply to an incident responder. No. So you need to learn how do you tailor your CV down to the job specifics, because that's what's even going to guarantee you to scale the initial applicant tracking system. Okay, so we're going to walk you through this and then also give you a CV template that can now consistently be optimizing to the role that you want to go for. Then we're also going to walk you through LinkedIn optimization. I was speaking to someone last month, and I told this guy that for any role that we advertise, we've tried to fill that role without advertising it. And this is the same thing across board. For any role that you see that is advertised, the company has tried to fill it without advertising it. And the easiest way they do that is through LinkedIn. You can easily search for anybody and personally headhunt them and bring them in for interviews straight without paying a dime. So how do you make sure that you are visible on LinkedIn? We're also going to walk you through LinkedIn optimization so that recruiters can easily also be able to see you. All right? We also have sessions where we teach you how to navigate the job market. We bring in experts from different regions, someone from Africa, someone from Canada, someone from UK, someone from US, walking you through the different job boards that can utilize with respect to landing roles. And when you land an interview invite, we are also available to prepare for those interviews. How do you answer situation-based questions during interview sessions using the STAR framework, which is situation, task, action, and results? Situation can say that while I was consulting with Analytics, I worked on a project where I needed to use Nmap to scan for the vulnerabilities with respect to this IP address. I did this, these are the tasks that I carried out, and then these are my action, and it resulted in no major non-conformity when the ISO regulators came to do us to audit the company. And because of that, we got our ISO certifications again. So when we speak with respect to this, you are going to have a full based understanding of how your interview is going. STAR framework, situation, task, action, and result. And also, when you move to other jobs, we can present you with references and recommendation letters. So this shows authenticity that you have actually been able to work with us before now. And on the job support, you're on a job and you're still struggling, we're also available for 1 month till you can be able to find your fit. But most time, our students don't come back for this because they actually can survive without us. And then we have also weekly mentorship sessions where mentors, experts come back to classroom to teach you and walk you through how you can be able to navigate the challenges that they have their own time. And Upwork session. If you want to play in the freelance space, making $50 here, $100 here, we'll also walk you through Upwork optimization sessions for you to make that to happen. Now, these are all success stories of people that have also been able to make this same move that you've been. So make sure that you fill the attendance form so that you can go through all the success stories. It is a lot. Like I told you, last year alone, we helped 355 people to move from our classroom into landing a job. Okay. And that will bring the entire total to roughly 2,855 people that will help move from our classroom into landing jobs. And some of them agree for us to use them and also, talk about them on these sessions like this. So when you get the slide, just go through it and see on here what they want to see. You can also see my screen. You can see how I got a job within 60 to 70% completion rates of my cybersecurity program. Now, this is Adetayo. He was still in the program when he landed a role in cybersecurity. Okay, so he was roughly 60 to 70% into the program and he landed the job. So even the 8 months and 12 months that we talk about, it is not until the end of the program that you start applying to job. 2 months into the program, we expect you to instantly start applying to role. Because remember, we are giving you both the technical skill and the employability skill together. The technical and CV, LinkedIn, navigating job market all come together. And this is to help you with respect to landing jobs. Okay? This is to help you with respect to landing jobs. And all these are also success stories. So please feel free to go through it on your own so that you can have a better understanding of what we are talking about. Listen to what they said. Click on those links and listen to what they had to say. We even had sessions where we brought in past students to a session like this to speak to people. So these are sessions where those students came back to also speak. So you can also click there to hear what they had to say with respect to their own experience. Okay, and then lastly, this is also us. So I know someone is asking whether we're in US. So no, we are fully registered in Canada. Okay, and recently last year, we got into our Beta Capitalizer program. But mind you, tech is a global skill. Okay, I'll tell you that our highest number of people always come from UK first, US second, Canada third, and also Nigeria. Then we'll have South Africa, Ghana, the Netherlands, Australia. We have people across the globe. But our major students always come from United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Nigeria, most time. And last year, we got into the Alberta Fertilizer program for us to know how to also help more people. So last year, we helped 350 individuals, 355 individuals move into the tech career path. How do we increase that number and double it by this year? So we are also continuously learning on better ways to improve our own processes to help more people. And even if what you're looking for is certification, when you are done with the training, we are accredited by the American Council for Training and Development. So for the person asking if we're in US, you can see that the certificate that we present to you is from ACTD, and that is the American Council of Training and Development. So you will get a certificate stating that you are fully trained as a cybersecurity expert. Now, what are your next steps? What do you need to do? Okay, what should you do? Next thing is for you to join our next cohorts. So we have next cohort that is starting on February 8th, and that should be next week, Saturday. All right, and you have the opportunity to secure your spot with discounted pricing that is currently existing. Okay, so for the pricing for the 8 months plan, the full amount is $900, but it's currently discounted by 20%, which means you get to pay $750 and save $150. All right, and you have the option to pay for this over a period of time. For the 12 months plan, the full pricing is $1,200 rather. All right, and the discounted pricing is $1,000. So it is dollars, USD, not CAD, USD. All right, and it also have the opportunity for you to pay in to the full amount. So I always advise people after sessions like this, try as much as possible to secure your spot because it's easily. Sorry, can anyone hear me? I don't know what happened right now. I think I dropped off for a moment. Okay, I was trying to share my screen and it also threw me off. So after sessions like this, those options are easily filled out. So please make sure to secure your spots so that you can also be able to have access into getting into those programs. So I'll share my screen and walk us through how we can also be able to secure our spots. Okay, I'll walk us through how we can also be able to secure. Okay, Richie, I've said I'm sharing my screen to walk us through how we can be able to secure our spots. All right, so my colleagues will drop the main stack link. How do we register on Google? So my colleague, she just dropped the main stack link. So once you click on that main stack link, it's going to bring you to this Analytics Enrollment Center. Okay, so it's going to bring you to this Analytics Enrollment Center. And what you have to do at this point is to scroll down and look for the cybersecurity program that you want to join. Okay, I think there's, just give me a moment to troubleshoot this link to be sure that it's fully optimized. Okay, so once you click on the link, it's going to bring you to the Analytics Enrollment Center, and then scroll down and look for the cybersecurity track. So once you scroll down, okay, my screen is up now. So please confirm that you can actually see my screen now. Please, let's confirm that we can see the Enrollment Center on my screen now, please. Okay, I think it's up because I can see it on my second screen now. All right, so when you scroll down, you will see the cybersecurity track. So if you scroll down, yes, all our programs are instructor-led and self-paced. Success, can you see my screen now? I can see it on my second device and third device. So I believe that you should be able to see my screen also, right? So if you scroll down, you will see, okay, fantastic. Thank you, good luck. Thank you, Nella. If you scroll down, you see all the programs that we offer. But for you going for cybersecurity, scroll down and look for cybersecurity. So you see cybersecurity analyst here. You have the 8 months and you have the 12 months. So if you are going for the 8 months, all you have to do is click on the 8 months. Once you click on it, it's going to bring you to the place where you select how you want to structure your payments. All right, so it's going to bring you to this page on how you want to structure your payments. All right, you can see that only 11 seats are available right now, which means 9 has been taken. And after sessions like this, it always gets filled up. So when you scroll down, you can see, you can select how you want to structure your payments. You can pay $150 for 5 months. You can pay $187.50 for 4 months. You can pay $250 for 3 months, and so on and so forth. So all you have to do is just click on any one and click on secure your seat. All right, but there's another catch here. If you decide to pay one off or in 2 installments, you get to also save extra $50. Right? If you decide to pay one off, you can see that you get to pay $700. If you decide to pay in 2 installments, you get to pay $350, and that's also $700, saving you extra $50. But from anything 3 months down, you pay the full discounted price, which is $750. I mean, you all agree with me, NPV, net present value of money. $700 in my pocket as of today is not the same thing as $700 earned over a period of 5 months. So that's why people that get to pay off once, they also get a little bit of advantage. So let me also explain using the 150 track. Once you click on it, click on secure your seat. So it's going to show you that your first payment is due today. Next one is due by February 28th. Next one is due by March 29th. Upper one is April 29th and May 29th. So it's a 30-day cycle. Once you click on proceed, you can now put in your name, put your email address, and then put your phone number and pay for the products. So no matter where you are joining from, if you're in the US, you're going to see the pricing in USD. If you're in Canada, you're going to see the pricing in CAD. If you're in UK, you're going to see the pricing in pounds. If you're in Germany, you're going to see it in euros. If you're in Nigeria, you're going to see the pricing in NGN. So no matter the location that you're joining from, it picks your geolocation and gives you the pricing in that location for you to be able to pay using any currency and where you are. And once you are done making that payment, just come back to this full main start page and click on upload your receipts here. Okay, click on upload your receipts here. Now, when you are uploading your receipts, you see option that will ask you, do you want to start February 8th or do you want to start March 8th? So these are our training calendar for this year. Each month, we start a new cohort. But if you are registering in February now, you can only defer till March. You can't register now and defer till August. So you can only register now and defer till March. Okay, and the benefit there is that it helps you secure it at the existing price now. So if by March the discount is no more there, you've already secured your spot and it wouldn't even matter if the price increases. Okay, so next cohort start by February 8th. Once you are done making your payments, come back here and click on upload your receipt here. And once you upload it, 1 week before the classes, which should be by 1st of February, you will instantly start getting your welcome kits, onboarding you on the different platforms that you're going to be making use of and inviting you into the classroom. So I don't know if at this point there are questions from anyone. Feel free to use the raise hand icon and also feel free to type your question in the comment section and I will pick it up from there. Okay, I want to start in March. That is for Richie. So Richie, all you have to do is secure your spot, and while uploading your receipt, select that you want to start by March 8th. So it gives you the ability to buy it at this existing price. So if by next month, we are talking about March, if the price has increased, you can now, it will no more affect you, all right? So it gives you the ability to secure it at this current discounted price. Is this for the February 8th class? Yes, Abisoye, for the February and March class. So you have the ability to secure your spots now and defer that you want to start by March. So if you do that, if March comes and the price increases, it will not affect you. How many times a month? How many times a month? I don't understand the question, Witty or Shane. I believe that might be how many classes a month, or if you're asking about classes, all your classes holds every Saturday in the month. Okay, live class this week, the upper week you have a self-paced class. Next one, you have a live class, upper one, you have a self-paced class. If you're asking about payments, you only make payments once in a month. Okay, if you go for the 5 monthly plan, it means that your first payment is today, next payment will be in 30-day cycle, next one in another 30-day cycle. Okay, so I'm trying to see if there are other questions. I want to start in March also. Good luck. So the same approach, good luck. Secure your spot, and then while you're uploading your receipt, click that you want to start in March. The cost runs for how many months and how many times weekly. So if you're going for the 8 months program, we have 2 options, 8 months program and 12 months program. The 8 months program or the 12 months program, both of them you learn in the classroom for 6 months. Okay, but the difference is now the 8 months guy, we have a 2 months internship experience, while the 12 months guys will have 6 months internship experience. Okay, and your class is just on weekends, just on Saturdays. Abisoye, can I start April? Well, it's very hard for us to make that decision now, but it can be considered, all right? I'm struggling to answer that question. Yeah, it can be considered, but what we actually advise is to defer just 1 month because we don't know how the economic condition is going to be by April or May. So we only advise people to defer up to 1 month. So if you're even uploading your receipts, you see the option for you to only extend beyond 1 month because we don't know if by April or May, whether Google Cloud Services will start charging at a times 50%, and it's going to affect some of the platforms that we are supposed to onboard you in. Are there slots for April or May? So at the moment, what we are talking about is the 20% discounted spot for the February. And you can key into it, but defer to start next month. Okay, what is the certification? Is it a paid internship? I talked about this earlier. So what we give you is fully skill and experience-based teaching. All right, skill and experience-based teaching where you get the skill and experience for you to land a job. Now, if you are looking for certificates, you may want to go to a different company that what they want to give you is just certificates. But we also give you a certificate that's accredited by ACTD, American Council for Training and Development. All right, American Council for Training and Development. So you are going to get a certificate. The internship is not paid for. All right, you are not going to be paid for the internship. As a matter of fact, you are paying for the training and also a conjunction to be in the internship program. All right, I don't know if that makes sense to you. Which is Shane speaking. Frederick, I sent him. Okay, Frederick, I will look and consult the finance. I saw the personal message you sent to me now. I will check the finance email and make sure that we give you a response. Also, for how long will the discount last? Good luck. Now, good luck. If you saw when I clicked on the spot, you notice that only 11 spots were available. Now, the number of weeks or days that the discounted spot will last is not based on us. So it's based on people. So the people has the power. If 11 people registers for it tonight, it means that the price goes back to the full amount. So it is until these 11 seats are taken, it is already hard coded into the website. If 11 seats are coded, revert back to the full price. So once the 11 seats are taken, the price goes back to the full amount. So I would advise people to try and secure their spots as fast as possible. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. How many months will the March cohort last? So all our training is that same two options, 8 months and 12 months. Both of them 6 months classroom learning, and then the 12 months will have 2 months internship. The 8 months will have 2 months internship experience, while the 12 months will have 6 months internship experience. Can a 60+ man take part? That's K.A. Dennis. Yes, you heard when I mentioned that the person that we had, oldest person we've had in our class, he was 68 years, while the youngest person we had was 17 years. So we had a mother that registered the son, and we had a parent that registered with the children also. So the man is a lecturer and is looking to also advance in some certain tech skills. So he decided to move into that career path. But K.A. Dennis, it is possible for you as a 60-year-old person to break into the tech industry. Okay. And okay, I think I've answered all the questions that I have in the comment section. Fantastic. And if you are still struggling to find a niche that you want to break into, we have what we call I'm losing my thoughts, one-on-one consulting service. Okay, it is fully free. So in the various groups that you join through, you are going to get a message asking you, okay, if you've not been able to know the career path that suits you, feel free to block our calendars. You have amazing people like me, people that are even better than myself, to speak to you and guide you to choosing the best career path for you. So, because one thing I always tell everyone is this: don't follow the crowd. Okay, don't follow the crowd. The most important thing is for you to find a career path that suits your own personality and is perfect for you. If my brothers are moving towards data engineering, it doesn't mean that me, that I don't like coding, should follow them and move into data engineering, because that's where they are going to. So we will look at your initial experience, look at your first degree, look at your master's degree, and advise you on a career path that is also suitable for you. So that is if you've not been able to choose a career path that is specific for you. But while you are waiting to secure that spot, to book that consulting service rather, make sure that you secure your spots, so that even after the consultation, if we've seen that, oh, cybersecurity is not for you, we can change you to data analytics. We can change you to business analysis, and we can also change you to the career path that we've identified that is suitable for you. Okay, so this is to help everyone fit into the perfect place, because you can't put a square peg in a circle hole. It is better you find the one that is perfect for you. Okay, thank you so much, Abel, for that. Thank you so much. Abiso is asking, are there any soft skills you would expect of a cybersecurity analyst? Yes, of course. I expect to have that inquisitive mindset. If you're a cybersecurity person and you're not inquisitive to ask, okay, why is this here? Why is this like this? Why is this so? Then there is a challenge. So it's important. It is very, very key that you have that inquisitive mindset. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Abel. So like I mentioned before, now we've helped more than 2,500 people to break into our different jobs across the globe. And the highest employer of labor that we have is NHS, because they always give our people visa-sponsored roles. So our students work in all these amazing companies I can see on my slide: NHS, Uber, MTN, P&G, Glo, Zenith Bank, PwC, Cognizant, and various other companies. Our highest employer is always NHS, because they help people with all the visa-sponsored roles. Okay, so all these things that you can also see as some corporate social responsibility that we've been able to carry out these last years. Last 2 years, someone went home with $1,000 in one competition that we had. Last year, people also went home with $2,000. So we continuously keep giving back for people to also help break into this career path. Anna, can someone that studied economics transit? I can't see the question anymore. I don't know whether it was. Can someone that studied economics transit to cybersecurity? Okay, Anna, now, their information is not enough for me to give you an advice. I will need to also ask you a couple of personality questions, ask you what your own interests are, to be able to understand you fully and know whether cybersecurity is for you. But one key thing I want you to know is that anyone can learn anything. I studied civil engineering first degree. In fact, I did MBA, management and finance. So there is no relatability with even cybersecurity. But look at me today. So it is possible for you to move from any career path into cybersecurity. If you don't have any transferable skills, you will know that if people that have transferable skills are using ×2 efforts to learn, you have to put in ×5 or ×10. After classes, you have to go back, grind, and watch. Okay, and I forgot to mention, all the classes are also always recorded and uploaded to your classroom. That even if you miss any session, you can always go back to watch that recording. So all the classes are always recorded and uploaded to your classroom. That if you miss any session, you can always go back and watch the recorded version of the class. So all these ones are now the success stories of people that have also been able to make this move. Like I've said, make sure that you fill the attendance form. So that we can be able to send the slide to you. Go through the slide, watch and read all these things that people said. If you want to personally reach out to them on LinkedIn, feel free to look for them. Message them, ask them how their own experience was, gauge their own say about us before you get in. But most importantly, make sure you secure your spot. Because like I said, after sessions like this, the spots are easily filled and easily taken. That's when you go back, you might now be seeing a different pricing. When someone like me transitioned, I transitioned with 35,000 Naira. That should be a couple of years ago. 35,000 Naira changed to 350,000, 350,000 changed to 900,000, 900,000 Naira started entering into millions. So that is why I always tell people, the best time to break into the tech industry is yesterday. The next best time is today. So if you are still thinking whether this is for you, you need to be able to make that decision. I know early in the year, we all made our New Year resolutions. So I want to break into the tech industry. It starts by you joining a learning partner. So on behalf of my founder, Adeza Suleiman, and also my co-founder, Efemera Ipro, I say a very big thank you to everyone for listening to me for the last 2 hours. It's not easy to have over 50 people listen to you for more than 2 hours, and I really appreciate that. Next thing is for me to see you in the classes, for you to start your own tech experience. I can't wait to see each and every one of you come February 8th or March 8th. Remember, time waits for no man. So thank you once more. Thank you once more. Thank you once more. See you in the February cohort or in the March cohort. Cheers, everyone, and bye for now. My name is Chukwuemeka Ikpa, and I'm the CEO of Analysts. Bye, everyone.